Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky, and as always, I'm here with Jess Perkins and Matt Stewart.
I'm the Matt Stewart.
And...
I'm also the Matt Stewart.
Oh my God, not this again.
Did you double book Matt Stewart's this week?
It's embarrassing. There's so many out there. It's a very common name.
Yeah, it's a bit too vanilla.
We're really good to be here, though, aren't we,
God,
Matt?
we're good to be here, Matt.
Dave, do you want to explain how the show works to me and Matt?
Oh, yeah. Well, for the 450th time, happy 450, everyone.
Happy 450.
Can't believe it's
God.
only 50 weeks since we did the big 400th episode and you just DJ'd. Very cool.
That was really fun.
That was so much fun. And we've got to start planning the 500th episode, just putting that out there now.
Jesus Christ.
So I can remember to do that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking something big.
What are you thinking?
Live from a
Skydiving?
hot air balloon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then we skydive.
Okay.
Okay, interesting.
Or from Antarctica or something. International waters.
Sure. Yeah, okay. One of those is achievable.
Maybe
The
like a live, just in front of an audience somewhere,
In international waters?
I guess.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
The audience of penguins.
Spitball. If you've got any ideas, let us know. 500, only 50 weeks away. But for now, let me tell you the show. What we do here is we take it in turns to report on a topic often suggested to us by one of the listeners. We go away, do a bit of research, bring it back in the form of a report. Now, we usually start with a question.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually part 2 from following on exactly from last week's episode.
I'd still like a question.
Okay. My question is, how are you today?
That's a trick question. I'm the same every day. Bad.
To the bone.
And Matt, you can steal this one.
Good, thank you. How are you?
That's what I wanted to hear. What? I never want the truth when I ask that question.
Oh, you wanted a polite answer.
Exactly.
Good, thanks.
The one that I'd give, which is
Can
good,
I just
thanks.
get a skinny latte? That's usually how it goes, yeah. Yeah, good, thanks. How are you? Anyway.
When you're ordering coffee, actually, I'm having a shocker.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God.
Oh, God,
no.
I was just polite.
Yeah. It's more of a extended hello. Anyway, so do you remember what last week's episode was? That's a question?
That's it. That would be a good question because typically the answer would be no for me.
Yeah.
But
But
pulling the curtain back a little, we just recorded it
we recorded it
like an hour ago.
just before lunch.
So
Don't pull the curtain back.
We recorded it 1 week ago exactly. This is
Yeah.
going out live into your feed.
Of course it is.
That's exactly how it works.
okay, do you remember what it was about?
What?
The last week's episode.
Huh?
Okay, our answer is no.
Great, curtain well and truly pulled back. We were talking about the deadly East Coast, West Coast hip-hop rivalry of the 1990s.
Yes, you introduced a lot of big characters.
Suge Knight.
Yep,
Yes.
Biggie Smalls.
Tupac.
So if you haven't listened to that,
Tupac's mum.
Tupac's mum was in there too.
Afeni.
Go back and listen to that. Get sort of the introduction to all of these.
Yeah, all
Characters.
this. Honestly, this could be a standalone episode because I'm going to do what I love to do, and that is previously on Do Go On.
I used to love a previously on, but now I don't like him as much because it usually kind of spoils what's going to happen on this episode.
Yeah, but I'm a dummy, and I'm like, 8 weeks ago, I wouldn't remember that person wrote down the password in that notebook, so that clearly was important.
Yeah, true. But also now we're binging stuff, so it's like I just watched it.
Oh yeah, skip.
I haven't forgotten.
But you can skip if you are binging. But previously on Do Go On, we detailed the rise of Tupac Shakur on the west coast of America and his east coast counterpart, the Notorious B.I.G, aka Biggie Smalls. The two started out as friends, but after Tupac was shot 5 times in a New York City recording studio and blamed the East Coast crew, diss tracks were written. People were booed at awards ceremonies. Snoop couldn't believe it. And tensions were riding high. So that's what we're up to.
Okay.
By mid-1995, the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry dominated the genre and the media coverage around it. That's actually a big part of the story. On the East Coast, the Notorious B.I.G. was working on his follow-up album to his best-selling debut, Ready to Die, whilst West Coast rapper Tupac also found himself on the East Coast in prison in New York after being convicted of sexual abuse. Music-wise, he had released his third album, Me Against the World, which was a hit, topping the Billboard album charts, but he was still in desperate need of money for legal fees. I also read that he was not great at hanging on to the money that he earned, even when he sold like 1 million records. Vanity Fair writes that he bought his dream car, a Mercedes 300, which was totaled in 24 hours.
Whoa.
So he went back and bought another one the next day. And when someone complimented the car, he gave them the keys and said, "You can have it." So, and now he's in money trouble. Oops.
Go find that person you gave a car to.
Yeah. Can I have that car back? Vanity Fair also contends that a lot of his money was spent supporting an ever-enlarging circle of relatives, nearly 40 of them in total. So he needed money for legal fees, for his own lifestyle, and to support people that had become to rely on him. Because, he's made lots of money.
Yeah.
And he said, I can help you out. And now, he's running out of money.
Because he really struggled growing up.
Absolutely. So I think it probably would be hard for him to say no to his relatives because he knows that they struggled just like he did.
Yeah.
And did you say that Biggie's album was called Ready to Die?
That was the first album, yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess that's comforting.
Yeah.
He was ready.
He was ready.
Well, I don't know where this episode's going, but just in case anything happens.
Just in case he dies one day.
One day, yeah.
We hope not. Suge Knight, the head of the LA-based Death Row Records, visited Tupac in prison and offered to pay his $1.3 million bail whilst he appealed his conviction on the proviso that he sign with Death Row Records. The rapper, apparently he brought in paperwork and everything and said, okay, I can help you out. All you have to do is sign your name here. You work for me, I'll look after you. Mm-hmm. He agreed and was released in October 1995. Knight sent a limo to pick Tupac up from prison, which is... Walking out of prison into a limo is, quite the thing to see. Before this, Tupac had been solely on Interscope Records, which had a deal with Death Row. I think Interscope was sort of the distributor for Death Row. But now, for the first time, as the Coastal Rivalry was heating up, he was officially in the Death Row stable. Battle lines had well and truly been drawn, so let's do a quick recap on who's on each side of the feud. On the West Coast, we have LA-based Death Row Records, co-owned and publicly fronted by Suge Knight, along with, like I said, Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and also Dr. Dre, who soon left to start his own label, but he had been instrumental in the Death Row and West Coast sound. Very influential.
He loves sound.
That's
why I got into headphones.
Just wanted to put that sound right in your ears.
Yeah.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Before that, he had someone who'd whisper it to you.
He'd whisper to them and they'd whisper to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And they actually had their like appearance fee was insane.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm just going to make some headphones.
Because the prototype was actually Whispers by Dre, and it would be Dre. You'd pay Dre.
Yeah.
He'd come around to your place.
Yeah.
And you say, I want to hear, can you play some Bruce Springsteen?
Kiss from a Rose.
Kiss from a Rose. Yeah, exactly. But it became increasingly expensive.
Yeah, well, it would be, yeah.
As he tried to expand.
Yeah, he had to have other Dre's. They weren't all doctors. Like, depending on how much budget you had.
Oh, my God. So you had a Mr. Dre.
Yeah, Mr. Dre, which
surgeon.
was confusing because sometimes they were surgeons.
You had to pay a premium for Mr. Dre.
Master J was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Master Dre.
Master J.
Master J. Mix Master.
Master J was the real rip-off brand.
Yeah.
You go to school with
You get different.
You go to school and people say, oh, who's that with you? You'd say, oh, no, that's Whispers by Dre. They say that. No. That's Master J.
That is not Whispers by Dre.
That man is Master J. That's not Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, no, look. And he was wearing a Dr. Dre mask. Very embarrassing for everyone.
Yeah. So I'm glad. Anyway, I'm glad they figured out the technology to get the muffs instead. Not muffs, are they?
Headphones.
Headphones, thank you.
Yeah, he probably does muffs too.
Sure.
Muffs by Dre. So that's the West Coast. Then over on the East Coast, we have Bad Boy Records, which is so funny to me. Owned and fronted by Sean Puffy Coombs, with artist Biggie, singer Faith Evans, who also married Biggie, as well as the Biggie-founded Junior Mafia, and that included Lil Kim and Lil Cease.
Great.
Which I kept accidentally writing Lil Caesar, and then I realised that that's an American chain of some description, I believe.
Yes.
So I don't know if it was doing a tribute to them or just completely separate. But that's East Coast versus West Coast. Mm-hmm. As well as being quite an astute businessman, Death Row's Suge Knight had a fearsome reputation in the hip-hop community and had active associations with real gang members. A prosecutor once described him as a, quote, one-man crime wave after his 1992 conviction of pistol whipping 2 rappers. Tupac described him too. He said, before, people wasn't scared of me. Now I get respect because motherfuckers is scared shitless of Suge.
Whoa.
So people were really, really scared of him.
And that's why you guys keep me around.
People swear. We got no respect before you were here. Mm-hmm. No one would dare say something to me in the street now.
I'll kill him.
It's almost, there's all these stories about Suge doing things and that he always denies. But one of them in, I think, the Vanity Fair article that I'll link to is, it's like almost a scene from a movie. Like he's supposed to be he's a record executive, right? People would go in and do proper deals in his office.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be he's a record executive.
Yeah.
So he works in an office. And the story is that one day someone went into his office as he was cleaning blood off the floor. And they were like, what happened? He said, oh, just a business dispute. Which is like a scene from a movie.
What the fuck?
So, but he denies that happened. All the things in the Vanity Fair article.
I spilled a coffee
of blood.
Jeez.
Ice Cube, who was a West Coast rapper, formerly of NWA, but wasn't on the label, described Suge and Death Row as pushing it to its limits when it comes to affiliation with real gang banging. They were associated with some really violent groups, and this turned out to be a recipe for things getting out of hand very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, Tupac had a very soft side. According to that same Vanity Fair article, even as he was glorifying an outlaw lifestyle for Death Row, Tupac was financing an at-risk youth centre, bankrolling South Central sports teams, and setting up a telephone helpline for young people with problems.
And giving away a car.
Mm-hmm.
He was Oprah.
You've got a car. And then he had to stop.
Yeah,
so I've only got one car.
Yeah.
Fuck. How
Still
am I going to
pretty
get
cool,
home?
I guess. Yeah. Shit.
I only have this single
I
car.
have to go buy another car.
When the parents of a dying fan wrote to him and said his dying dream, the child, was to meet the rapper, Tupac flew to his bedside and asked for no press. When the boy died, he renamed his music publishing company after him, calling it Joshua's Dream.
Oh.
So yeah, a complicated man, absolutely. As soon as he was released from prison, Tupac went to work at once, recording 14 songs within 6 days of his release. But when he got out of jail, he was pissed, continually publicly dissing the East Coast rappers for being fake and weak. Remember, he thinks that they organised him being shot. He dissed them on stage and badmouthed them in interviews with some really aggressive language. And a lot of people have since said that he kind of momentarily seemed to lose his mind a little bit. There's a video of him giving an interview to MTV in New York, and he's standing there surrounded by his crew with Suge Knight and the other Death Row guys, and he goes, sort of ranting at the interviewer, we'll overthrow the government you all got right now, which is Bad Boy and Nas and all that bullshit, and we will bring a new government here that will feed every person in New York. And the stunned interviewer, as Tupac is walking away, just goes, all right, cool, man. He doesn't know what to say.
I just asked, what's your go-to breakfast? Okay. Oats? Should I just write down oats?
Yeah.
Coffee? Do you drink coffee? You don't drink coffee? Okay. Orange juice? Oats and orange juice. Okay, I'll write that down. As a journalist, I know how they think, okay?
You get it.
Rule 101 of interviewing, breakfast. Rule 2, lunch. Okay? Rule 3, you think dinner.
No.
Afternoon tea.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Little snack.
Yeah.
It's a long break between lunch and dinner. Some of us need a little snack in there, okay? Rule number 4, dinner. Okay? Rule number 5, dessert. Rule number 6, get into somebody's philosophy on life.
If this time.
But most importantly, what did you have for breakfast? Let us know in the comments what you had for breakfast.
I had a little bit of cereal.
That's nice. I had a smashed avo.
And Matt?
Porridge with raspberries.
Ooh.
Wow, high flyer.
Yum, yum, yum.
Just frozen raspberries.
Oh, okay.
Straight out of the freezer.
Right, medium flyer.
Just loose in the freezer? You just get a fistful from the freezer?
No, they're in a packet.
Okay, high flyer. We're back up high.
Okay.
Up in the blue sky now.
Somebody's got packet money. All my fruit's just loose around the house.
One of my second favourite rappers, Packet of Money. So,
Dave's shrugged. I don't know.
yeah, whatever.
I liked it.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes you just say stuff. So, Tupac.
Imagine if you took out all those things where we just say stuff. These shows would be so short.
So
God.
short and boring.
But what a theme song.
And, you know, all those people that hate the show would love it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Their biggest problem is when we say things. It really is. That's the consistent
Shut
feedback.
up.
They love the idea of the show that they have before they listen.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they love reading the topic and then going, oh, that could be interesting. Oh, no, they talked about it, though.
Yeah, they suck.
They
Nah, we're all right.
We're doing all right.
We're all right.
450, baby. So Tupac, he's quite angry
Yeah.
coming out of prison.
14 songs in 6 days.
Yeah.
That's two a day and then some.
Yeah, and they're probably not that good, though. are
Probably
they?
a couple of days where he did 3. Or maybe one day he did like 6 and then the others were slow. I don't know. But it's impressive.
Yeah, is that on the record, Dave?
Do we know what the split was of songs to days? Or
Yeah, 13 on day 1.
shit.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
you
they
really
said-
slowed down.
Dude,
Take 4 days off.
those last 10 were terrible. What are you talking? You're just saying things in the room. I'm looking around the room. I'm wearing headphones. Yeah, I had breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
They were like, Park.
Oh, and the
slow down.
journalist pokes that in. Well,
Yes,
what was it?
Yes.
Please do go on.
Well, I've got you. Rule number 2. What'd you have for lunch?
Never interrupt a flow. I was about to say what colour the carpet was.
Now I'm done for the day.
Shock G, who was the lead vocalist of the group Digital Underground that had worked with Tupac in his early days. I believed they appeared with him in that movie that we watched the trailer of since last week, of the Chevy Chase movie that was Tupac's debut, and it looked so bad.
And sometimes the editing of trailers doesn't do a movie much justice, but I think
It showed the whole movie.
I think the editors did the best they possibly could with an absolute pile of trash, steaming trash.
It was so bad.
It looked horrendous.
Anyway, Shock G, who was seeing that movie,
Nothing But Trouble was the name of the movie.
Nothing But Trouble, who was in that, and he'd worked with Tupac for a long time and helped him break through. He told the Netflix documentary series Evolution of Hip Hop, that has a couple of episodes dedicated to this period of hip hop history. He said that seeing Tupac's new aggression and the way he spoke in interviews and rapped on new songs, he felt, quote, I didn't recognize my friend Tupac Shakur. I didn't know him no more. He's a monster now.
Wow.
And then the show itself in the VO says that in a few years, Tupac had transformed from activist to agitator.
What?
And there was now a full-grown beef between West Coast and East Coast, and it was only going to grow in animosity and violence.
So it seems like maybe beforehand it was kind of like a, not for show, but it was sort of half-hearted or like...
But like, you know, rappers do diss tracks a fair bit.
Yeah.
But he took them to the next level.
Yeah.
And then also
now
in
it's
the interviews,
real.
it's like really attacking, and it's like, well, dude, people are like, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
You okay?
right.
You okay? But I suppose from his perspective, he's been shot 5 times.
Yep.
Been in prison stewing, thinking that those guys set him up. So he's pissed.
Yeah.
And multiple diss tracks were written on each side. Tupac insulted or threatened Biggie, Bad Boy, and its affiliates on several tracks. Famously on the track Hit 'Em Up, he absolutely goes for them with an absolutely savage song. Some people say it's like the craziest diss track ever. He names Biggie and a bunch of others like Lil' Kim, Lil Cease, Puffy, Junior Mafia. He says he hooked up with Biggie's wife, Faith Hill, and some of the lyrics where he takes aim at Bad Boy Records include, now when I came out, I told you it was just about Biggie. Then everybody had to open their mouth with a motherfucking opinion. Well, this is how we gonna do this. Fuck Mobb Deep, who are a duo. Fuck Biggie. Fuck Bad Boy as a staff,
Wow.
record label, and as a motherfucking crew. And if you want to be down with Bad Boy, then fuck you too. He's going after the staff.
Wow.
Glad he finished with a rhyme because, Jesus.
For a long time there, I was like, come on, mate. Maybe take after Biggie and take some fucking poetry classes or something. Am I right?
I know rhymezone.com wasn't around back then, but
geez,
geez.
Louise.
Come
See, I
on.
just rhymed. It's that easy.
It's that easy.
Park, come on. But when he
Yeah,
went
he's
out,
going after the crew. Like,
he's
I'll
going
just
after the
make
staff.
coffee.
Exactly. Lorraine's just the receptionist.
Yeah.
You going after her?
Fuck Lorraine.
Oh, whoa.
And she's been nothing but a delight.
Lorraine, let the pain rain, something like that. He could have used that.
Oh, my
You're right.
goodness.
Yeah, I don't know if you rhyme.
But it's a different type of rain.
Okay. One's la. And the other one's pain rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sorry. I don't know. I just was in a negative mind frame. That was fucking the best.
I'm actually on rhymezone.com now, and it does work.
Wow.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
that's good.
He's very good.
That's actually made me feel amped. Pain rain. Lorraine. Pain rain. That's sick.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah, he's dancing to a rhyme you made several minutes ago.
He's just Like he's sort of just bobbing
bobbing.
and his tongue's sticking out and he's just really getting into
That's
it.
just how Matt dances.
I love
He's having a good time.
His mallet's like
Pain rain.
riding on his shoulders that are popping up and down. Fuck, that's good stuff.
That's nice.
I do the rhymes, you do the dances.
No, I'm just here.
I need to do the disses.
I'm your roadie slash dancer, which you talked about last week.
Yeah.
Tupac started out that way. Wow, you're a great rapper. You can really carry shit. But it worked out for him. So there were lots of diss tracks back and forth, and this soon translated into violence in the real world. Snoop Dogg's trailer was shot up during the filming of a video clip. Suge Knight and Puff Daddy attended, remember their enemies, a birthday party for musician Jermaine Dupri at Platinum House Club in Atlanta. Conflict between the two groups spilled outside the club, and Big Jake Robles, a close friend of Knight's and a Death Row Blood, being the gang affiliate, was fatally shot as he was getting into a limousine. Suge Knight came out and publicly blamed Puff Daddy for the fatal shooting.
Wow.
Then on March 29, 1996, employees of Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records confronted each other face to face after the Soul Train Awards in Los Angeles, and a gun was pulled.
Are you imagining like in a musical where two gangs
Low
fight?
click at each other?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lot
I'm
of that.
imagining some low clicking.
Yeah. Put those clicks down.
A little
like
dance
the
off.
Michael Jackson bad film clip
Yeah.
sort of thing.
And I'm picturing like while they do different dance moves at each other.
That's a
and
dance off.
Some cheer and yeah, that's what I'm picturing. A dance off. I didn't have to explain what
There's a lot
dance
of
off
dance
is.
offs. And then
I was
some,
describing scene by scene a dance off, and I could have just said dance off. Everybody knows what that is.
we get it.
Idiot, Jess.
It's basically a dance off, and then someone just pulls a gun and just fires it into the air a few times.
They don't bring a gun to a dance fight.
No.
Never bring it.
Your weapon should be your dance.
Your moves.
Yeah.
Let your body be the weapon.
Yeah. If you're shooting from the hip, it should just be your hips.
Yeah.
Pew, pew.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa,
Yeah.
Maddie, you haven't warmed up, bud. I'd be careful with those things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's pulled a muscle. He's shot himself in the hip.
Oh.
Yeah. It's okay. Walk it off.
Oh.
Walk it off.
Oh.
Oh, no.
He's pulled a
I
muscle.
popped a hip.
Oh, no. At your age, that might be, we might have to put you down.
Yeah.
You're a racehorse, yeah?
Now is when you pull out the gun.
Yeah, that's right.
What was the famous, there's like a musical or something where it's
Yeah.
like two teams
West Side
against each other.
Story.
West Side Story. Who is it, Dave? Who are the two
think-
teams?
Jets.
Jets and the... Fuck, people are yelling at their iPhones.
Was it Jets and Bad Boy Records?
It was
Yes,
Jets and
that's
Bad
right.
Boy
Crips
Records.
and Jets.
It's something. It's
Is it West Side Story? West Side Story.
Yeah.
Is it
Jets.
two football teams?
Jets versus Sharks.
Sharks. There you go. We got
Cronulla
50%.
Cronulla Sharks
Two
versus
rival
the New York
teenage
Jets.
gangs.
Cronulla versus New York Jets. That's fun. That is fun.
East versus East.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where Cronulla is in Sydney, but I mean just in east of Australia.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's
Dave,
in the
what the fuck are we talking about?
We're talking
What's
about-
going on?
We're talking about Cronulla. It's in the Shire. Now, so violence is just ramping up. Someone has been murdered. People are pulling guns on each other at music awards ceremonies. It's ridiculous. Rapper Exhibit, best known to me as the host of Pimp My Ride,
Ah, yes.
but before that a rapper who had moved to LA in his teens, said that the whole feud was media-driven because it sold magazines. Each side of the rivalry was put on the cover of industry magazines. In an already bravado-filled genre, this did nothing to calm down the situation. No one wanted to back down.
Yeah, I mean, look at the power of magazines today. It makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of blood. Magazine's got a lot of blood on its hands.
Yeah. But they don't care.
Video
They're just
hits.
raking in the millions every day.
Yeah.
Those magazines.
It's crazy.
It's wild, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I buy 10 a day.
I can't get
I
enough.
can't keep up.
I'm hooked on magazines.
That's all I can carry.
Hey, Dave, could you do something as a rapper? Could you do something with the fact that, you know, you got magazines for guns and also selling magazines, but also Pimp Your Ride mag wheels? Could you maybe do
right.
a verse around?
That's actually pretty good. You could say mags for 3 different things.
Yeah.
I'm on the cover of a mag, holding my mag. My Cadillac's got mags. Everyone would think I'm mad,
Yeah, that's
but
great.
I ain't.
Yeah. I'm thinking straight.
I'm thinking straight. Fuck, this shit writes itself, guys.
And I think it's such a great. I saw it. There was a clip of Eminem being told you can't rhyme anything with some words like orange. He said you can rhyme anything with anything. He's like, orange, borange, phenorange, colorange, storange. But no, he just started like manipulating words so they sort of rhymed. I'm like, oh yeah, that what Dave wrote out before. It probably was like, if you heard it,
It sounds good, like, you know, it's all about their flow or whatever. But
when you're reading it out,
you're like, this sounds ridiculous.
I know. Look, I never said that.
You thought it.
Yeah, but
never said it.
Yeah, but you thought it.
Orange, Mr. Orange, Mr. Manorange, my teacher in high school. You know, exactly.
Yeah.
And
You've seen that clip?
People say, who? And then you just lie and say that they taught you year 7 geography or something.
Yeah. Mr. Manorange.
Mr. Manorange.
It's French. Okay? You uncultured pig.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. So, it's getting out of hand. By mid-1996, Tupac had started dating Kidada Jones, daughter of music producer Quincy Jones and actress Peggy Lipton.
Sister of Rashida Jones.
Her older sister. You're right. He asked her to travel to Las Vegas with him on September the 7th, where Mike Tyson was due to fight Bruce Seldon at the MGM Grand. He told her he didn't want to go, but he'd promised Suge Knight that he'd go with him. He said that he'd go to the fight and then meet her at a party Suge was having afterwards at a club that he owned downtown. Love that. That's the kind of, you know, Suge's got a lot of investments going at the moment.
Yeah.
To quote from Vanity Fair, Kidada asked him, "What do you want me to pack?" knowing his fussiness about clothes. Pac only shrugged. She reached for the bulletproof vest he'd taken to wearing. "No," he said, "it'll be too hot."
Oh.
Doesn't want to wear a bulletproof vest in Las Vegas. Okay. He then went to the fight with Suge. It was for the WBA Heavyweight Championship, and Mike Tyson knocked out his opponent, Bruce Seldon, in the first round in one of the shortest heavyweight championship fights in boxing history, lasting just 1 minute and 49 seconds.
Wow.
Hey, that's not a bad amount of time.
No.
That's ages.
That's actually quite a lot of time.
If you know what you're doing, that's plenty.
That's plenny of time.
Yeah.
That's quite a satisfying time.
Yeah.
I think Seldon did great, actually.
Everyone's enjoyed themselves at that 1 minute 40.
I feel like I've got my money's worth.
Yeah.
I'm
If
leaving
anything,
satisfied.
Last 30 seconds.
How good's this?
Take them or leave them.
Yeah,
Take them or leave them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's like sometimes you get into that third minute, you're like, all right,
God.
Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up.
And if you go 12 rounds, that's torture.
Oh my God. Who's doing that these days?
No
Who's
one.
doing
12
that?
rounds.
Who's got the time?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I got a job to do, mate.
Yeah, the kids will be back soon. Can't keep fighting all night.
The kids will be back soon. Where are the kids?
We sent them out the back in the car park playing at the MGM Group. Bruce Seldon was quite embarrassed and he retired after the fight. And he did come back later, but he didn't do as well. It was also Mike Tyson's final heavyweight title winning match ever. Anyway, that's the boxing match.
I don't remember hearing that guy's name before, so I'm not surprised it wasn't an epic battle.
I didn't know either. Never heard of him. That's the fight in the ring. There was also a fight after that. Shakur and Suge Knight had ties to the Mob Piru Bloods, a street gang from LA that often battled for territory with rival gang, the Crips. In July 1996, a couple of months before the heavyweight fight, members of the Southside Compton Crips, including a guy called Orlando Anderson, attempted to rob Trey Lane in a Foot Locker in Lakewood, California. It's such a weird
a shoe shop.
Yeah, shoe shop. It's so weird to rob someone in a shoe shop.
Foot Locker. Yeah. I think that if you're going to rob someone somewhere.
They've never met a foot I can't fit.
Yeah, but hang on. They're such good. Shoes can be very expensive. Mm-hmm. Was this on a day where there was some new release?
Oh, no, they robbed a man from another gang in the Foot Locker. I don't think they even stole stock.
No, but I imagine he just purchased a limited edition.
He got the last one.
One of a kind. And they were there. They said, "Oh, we'd also like a pair, sir.
Yeah.
Please."
I'm also a size 11.
And they said, 11, we just sold the last pair to this guy from your enemy gang. Oh, well, I normally don't like to do this, but I'm going to rob you, sir.
Is that what happened,
Is
Dave?
that what happened, Dave?
I actually think it is kind of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Jets versus Cronulla Sharks.
And you're right that Trey was a member of a rival gang, the Mob Piru gang, an associate of Death Row Records co-founder Suge Knight.
Oh, no.
Trey Lane, who's the guy that was robbed, was at the fight with Tupac and Suge and their whole crew, And according to Fox 5 Vegas, after the fight, Trey Lane spotted Orlando Anderson, the man that had attempted to rob him, inside the hotel near a bank of elevators. Mm-hmm. And he pointed out to Tupac, that guy tried to rob me a few months ago. Shakur then asked Anderson if he was, quote, from the South and punched him in the face, knocking him to the ground. Members of Shakur and Knight's entourage assisted in the assault, which was captured on MGM Grand video surveillance, and security guards broke up the brawl. But they basically jumped this guy and beat the shit out of him. Tupac then went back to his hotel where he told his girlfriend Kadada about the brawl, and he changed into some new clothes and left again, saying he'd see her at the club. He then went to Suge's mansion. Of course, he's got a Vegas mansion as well.
Of course.
Which apparently was next door to Mike Tyson's Vegas mansion.
Of course.
I know you love, I think last week you were talking about how much you love the name Wurundjeri, but I think Suge Knight might be my favourite.
It's really good, isn't
It's
it?
very
I don't know
good.
why, but it's just so, Suge is awesome, but Knight, you know, sometimes just a solid surname can
Yeah.
back up a ritzy first name.
Agreed.
Suge Knight.
Like Suge Jones would be cool too.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you're absolutely
Yes.
right. How is Suge spelt?
It's Suge.
Yeah, it's like sugar.
Yeah, I think that maybe it's because when he was younger, that was his nickname because he was sweet or something.
Yeah.
And now, still very sweet.
His first name is actually Marion.
Okay.
Yeah, see, sometimes that's why a nickname is necessary.
Marion Knight.
Marion.
Oh my God, actually, I mean, that sounds like a Hollywood heartthrob or something.
Sounds like a Hollywood darling.
Beautiful name for a boy or girl, Hollywood.
So they went to Suge's mansion, they partied for a bit, and then they headed to his club. Suge got into the driver's seat of his black BMW 750, and Tupac got into the passenger seat.
Okay, yep, that makes sense that he didn't also get into the driver's seat. He's padding now.
Yeah.
He could have just made this all one episode, but now he's just padding.
Yeah.
And they put on their seatbelts one at a time, involving stretching their right hand across their body.
That's not fair, Jess. Maybe they were going to drive it like kids go down a water slide, you know? One.
So what, Tupac was going to be on the pedals?
Yeah. Going down in a big train down the water slide.
Essentially like sitting in each other's laps.
Yeah, but just the head of the lap.
Yeah. Just in front of them.
Yeah, just
but your legs outstretched.
Yeah.
Other side of them. Yeah. That's
Hands
true.
around the tummy.
That's true. They could have been.
Could have
driving.
been. So I'm glad Dave qualified. That's how I was picturing until he
No,
qualified
let
it.
me get this out.
clarified it.
They could have been driving
Yes.
like kids go down a water slide.
Yeah.
That is true. That is undeniably true.
Yeah.
It could have happened.
So I appreciate that Dave actually took the time.
No, I'm explaining where everyone sits in the car because it is actually a little bit important.
Well, that's how we drive
Yeah.
when we go places.
Unfortunately, he
Dave's
didn't
in
do
the
that.
middle. We obviously don't. He doesn't have to do anything, but he's involved. I get into the pedals, Jess steers. She's the arms, I'm the legs. Dave's the torso, which doesn't actually have a lot to do in driving.
Yeah.
Oh, great. We'll try and sit down without your torso. Good luck.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Okay, it's important where they're sitting. And so just to clarify,
Sure.
Tupac is driving. I'm just being
Oh, good girl was going to say, that's not true.
I'm just being a little
That's
bit
incorrect.
cheeky. It's the other way around. Suge is in
Suge's
the
driving.
driver's seat of his car.
They've been partying a long time. I really hope Suge has not been drinking.
Oh, I'm sure Suge's been responsible.
Yeah. Pac's in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Shakur's bodyguard, Frank Alexander, later said that he was about to ride along in Knight's car, but Shakur asked him to drive a different car instead in case they needed multiple vehicles later to return to their hotel.
With lots of friends.
Exactly. So they're being tailed by bodyguards, but they didn't have any with them in their car.
Okay. That seems like that would be fine.
Oops.
I can't see that could end badly.
Exactly. Also, he's not wearing the bulletproof vest.
Yep, because it's too hot. Vegas is hot. It's in the
is
desert,
hot.
man. It's hot there.
You're right. Shortly after 11 p.m., Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department bike patrol officers stopped the BMW for playing music too loudly and failing to have a license plate.
In Las Vegas.
Okay, the license plate, sure. Yep. Playing music too loudly? How loud does a car stereo go?
I think these guys have, like, extra speakers installed.
Well, when I was there last year, like, there were so many cars just doing blocks of the strip, just blasting, like you're hearing it from inside the buildings, basically. Like, well, you don't inside them, but on the beer gardens. Like, I can't imagine how loud it would be. The whole
Yeah.
city's loud.
It's
Isn't that
loud.
the point of it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you tone it down. This is Las Vegas.
Okay.
Have a bit of decorum.
It's no night time.
Okay.
Okay.
People are trying to
Get their 8 hours
Get
in.
their 8 hours. Or play poker and they need to concentrate.
Okay. Bit of shush, please.
Yeah. Did you say a bit of shug? That's me. No?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
If you turned down the music, you'd hear that I said shush.
Shush. Sorry, are you talking to me?
No.
So they were pulled over.
No license plate. Being too noisy. Got
Being
it.
too noisy. Also, I can't say for certain, but possibly racism plays a part of this.
Oh, yeah. I reckon that was
They
probably
got pulled
a part
over
of it,
for
yes.
racism. Who are they being racist against?
So they pulled over. They don't have plates. Plates were found in the trunk of the vehicle, which is like, guys, we need to put them on.
Yeah.
And they were released a few minutes later, that being cited. They can keep driving.
Okay, great.
Robert Sam Anson, writing for Vanity Fair in 1997, picks up what happens next. They halted at another light seconds later at the edge of a dark, undeveloped area between the Strip and downtown. A white Cadillac bearing California plates eased up on the passenger side, and as a pistol barrel eased from a window, a black man got out, gun drawn. Tupac snapped alert, and frantically he started climbing into the back seat. There was a fusillade of 13 shots. One hit Tupac in the hand, another in the pelvis, 2 more penetrated his chest. Then the only sound was squealing tyres. So the car that's just pulled up drives away.
So this time he's been shot 4 times.
Yes, 4 times.
Last time he was shot 5.
Yeah, so
and
I
he
think
was
he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Although,
We haven't found the number for him.
unless he's a cat, that makes 9, 5 and 4.
Is
Is he a cat?
Is Tupac a cat?
I mean, I don't think so, but then...
I mean, you
the
can't
maths-
spell Tupac without cat.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. Cat poo.
We might have just come up with the first conspiracy theory about Tupac.
The first one that's true.
Yeah, the first real.
No, the only one.
Oh, the only one.
only one.
But it's also true that it's the only one that's true.
Yes.
He was rushed to the emergency room. Sadly, he died from his injuries 6 days later, with his girlfriend Kadada and his mother Afeni at his bedside at the time. He was 25 years old.
I can't
Holy
believe
shit.
that.
How crazy is that?
25.
25.
Too young for the 27 club.
Yeah,
That's wild.
To have made your hugely influential career and died before the 27
I
club.
was assuming early 30s.
Yeah. 25.
Wow.
A baby.
That's...
I was thinking the other day about how young I was at 25. Mentally, like I still don't really feel like I know what I'm doing in anything. But at 25, I didn't understand a thing.
Don't they say like your frontal lobe isn't fully
Yeah.
developed until about that age? So like,
But
he's a
I
kid.
back that.
He's also like, I mean, to the point where maybe you're stewing on things more than you should, and you maybe think people are out to get you more. I mean, the way you tell it, I think he's got a fair reason to believe that maybe he was set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, without knowing anything apart from what you've told us.
But yeah, he was angry, wasn't he?
Yeah. And maybe, if he just got through that period.
I wonder if he had been wearing his bulletproof vest, because I would assume it wasn't the one in the hand that really got him in the end. It was probably the ones in the chest.
2 in the chest, yeah.
But that was his lyric writing hand.
Ah, fuck. Computers didn't exist.
No, I don't think so.
There was no other option.
Well, I think they did, but they were as big as a room.
Yeah, and he keeps giving away rooms.
Yeah.
He'd
Can I
get
have
a
a room?
room and then he'd give it to someone, and then he's like, fuck, I need another
Yeah.
room for my computer room.
His murder officially remains unsolved, partly because no one wanted to cooperate with police. Suge Knight, who was obviously sitting next to him at the time as he was shot, said, "I don't get paid to solve homicides."
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pretty cold, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that was your friend.
But I think that it's more like, I'll sort it out the way I sort things out.
Yeah. Yep.
A rapper named Yaki Gaddafi was riding in a car with the bodyguards and members of the death row entourage directly behind the BMW. He said he saw who fired the shots, but refused to cooperate with police. Gaddafi, who was only 19, was found dead from a gunshot wound in New Jersey only 2 months later.
19.
19.
Shit.
Do you think it's because he was saying, I know who it is?
I'm not sure. Or if it could have
That
just...
feels like it.
Yeah, it could have been unrelated violence, or it could be because, he knew.
Why say it?
Yeah.
It's like, I just want everyone to know that I know.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone wants a
I
reason
won't tell
to...
the cops, but I'll tell everybody I know.
Yeah, if anyone wants to silence me.
Wow.
And there have been many, many, many suspects over the years. Fingers were pointed at Crips gang members retaliating for the incident at the boxing match earlier in the night. Others accused Biggie, Puffy, and East Coast representatives of orchestrating it. In 2002, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Chuck Phillips, writing for the LA Times, published a large journalistic investigation. He presented evidence that the Southside Crips, a gang from Compton, executed the killing after Orlando Anderson was beaten up by Tupac earlier in the night, according to Britannica. Furthermore, Phillips posited in his investigation that Shakur's rival and New York rapper Notorious B.I.G. provided the gun and had previously offered to pay the Crips if they successfully killed Shakur.
What?
His feud with the rapper had escalated such that Biggie had offered to pay the Crips $1 million for the murder. Phillips' article stated that Orlando Anderson used Wallace's .40 caliber Glock pistol to carry out the hit.
Whoa.
So that's what this guy said. But Biggie denied that at the time that he had any involvement, saying he was working in a New York studio on the day and night of the murder, and many have said that he was genuinely shocked and saddened to hear of his old friend's death. When asked about Tupac's death and his alleged involvement, Biggie said, "Take a chance to know the person before you judge a person. That goes with anybody, not just me. Try to get the facts first." And he denied that he had any involvement.
As a journalist, I'm all about the facts first.
Oh, really? You're
Yeah.
a fact-first journalist.
Yeah.
Is that why you're not working in the field?
Yep.
You were blacklisted.
Yeah. I think nowadays you have to come up with a punchy title first and then just
Click
go from
first.
there. Yeah, click first, details later.
Yeah.
Details,
If there's any
schmeetails.
details.
Yeah, don't worry
whatever.
about it. Just some pictures.
Just some ads.
Yep. Lots of
Lots
ads.
of ads.
It's a good model.
Thank you.
Excellent. And I have to point out that not everybody agrees with Phillips' LA findings. Again from Britannica, Phillips' reporting was based on interviews with a series of informants who agreed to disclose their knowledge about the case in exchange for anonymity. While praised for its detailed presentation and logical structure, Phillips' LA Times investigation has been panned for its reliance on unnamed sources, particularly those who implicated two deceased individuals and whose allegations have not been corroborated. Because the accused, the one that everyone said he did it, Orlando Anderson himself, was shot and killed in an unrelated gang shootout at the age of 23 in May 1998.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
These
So-
are just kids.
Yes. And, obviously you
At
can't...
23 in 98.
So a couple of years earlier, he was only 21 at the time of
Yeah.
Tupac's murder.
When he got beaten up. That's wild. They're little babies.
Yeah. And there have been many articles, documentaries, and multiple books written about the murder, often with different conclusions. At the time, the news of Tupac's death was said to have visibly rocked the city of LA, where he was a cultural icon. His mother, Afeni, was interviewed by Vanity Fair in 1997 and said of the legacy of her son, he said, "Let me tell you the reality. My great-grandmother was a slave. My grandmother was a sharecropper. My mother was a domestic, and I was whatever the fuck I was. That child changed things for all of us." His final album, released with his creative input, was released 2 months after his death under the name Machiavelli. That was his another alias. It was called The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, and sold 4 million copies in the USA and also received critical acclaim. 5 more studio albums have been released since his death,
Wow.
as he recorded prolifically in his short life. Like we said before, he had 14 songs in
Yeah.
6 days, I guess.
You can spread them out, 4 songs on an album.
Yeah. And they kept finding different bits and mixing them up with different artists, and other people do the chorus and things like that.
It was a real cash cow for someone.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's just honouring the legacy? I think that's usually what posthumous releases are about.
Yes. Over on the East Coast, the Notorious B.I.G. was working on his sophomore album, which was due to be released on March 25, 1997. The album had numerous planned release dates, but Biggie was involved in a bad car accident in September 1996 that delayed finalising it. He hurt his leg very badly in the accident, and this actually caused him to walk with a cane.
Oh.
About 3 weeks before that release date, he travelled to LA to promote his upcoming album, which was called Life After Death, and to film a music video for its lead single, Hypnotize, which is one of his best-known songs. It's had 1 billion streams on Spotify, so it's still very popular.
1 billion?
Yeah, 1 billion, yeah.
What the fuck?
The fuck?
That's crazy.
Now, of course, LA was enemy territory on the West Coast, and this is only 6 months since Tupac was murdered. A lot of LA was still mourning, and friends warned Biggie that he shouldn't go there because it's a very dangerous place to be for him.
Yeah.
Even if you had nothing to do with it, people blame you.
Yeah.
So, don't show your face there.
Yeah,
not
whether
right.
or not you did it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's perception is reality in some cases.
Exactly.
To some
Especially
people.
with people who are mourning, angry, and have access to very violent individuals. Like, you just want to stay away from there. But he went anyway. On one of his radio interviews in LA, he told the interviewer that he'd increased security, not just because of recent threats, but because he'd become a famous person and needed more protection in general. But I think it's mostly because he was scared of people killing him. But he's like, oh, it's also because I just don't want people coming up to me anymore. On March 7th, Biggie, Puffy, and Brian McKnight presented the award for Best R&B/Soul Single to Tony Braxton at the 1997 Soul Train Music Awards, and Biggie was booed by some of the audience. He responded by cheekily saying, "What's up, Kelly?"
So cheeky.
What did Tony Braxton win for?
Best R&B Soul Single.
What was the single?
Oh, I didn't write that down.
Oh my God, Dave. You'll tell us where everyone's sitting in a car.
It was important where he got shot.
Yeah.
In the car.
In the car. Oh, yeah. Oh, now that you've explained it.
The song was Secrets by Tony Braxton.
I also just looked up because a billion seemed wild to me. And so then I looked up like the highest streamed songs. So many have had. The number one is Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, which has currently had 4.2 billion
Wow.
streams.
Crazy, isn't
How does that go? Blinded by the light.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ba-do,
like a
deuce. Douche on the mother in the night.
Yeah,
Blinded.
I assume that's that song.
That's the one.
The Manfred Mann version or the Bruce Springsteen original?
Yes.
Oh, no, sorry. You said The Weeknd.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Bloody hell.
Sorry, I actually lied to you. That was the album that Tony Braxton won, Best R&B Soul Album, but the single was You're Making Me High / Let It Flow. Do you know that one?
Oh, yeah. You're making me high / let it flow. You're making me high / don't let me go. I'm having a good time. I'm feeling up high. I wanna dip. This is I realized too late when you guys are giving me enough rope. And it's like, yeah,
Let him go.
let him go.
He'll tire himself out eventually.
He'll feel embarrassed soon. Oh no, it's happening again.
So he's presented an award the next night on March 8th. Biggie and the Bad Boy Records entourage attended an after party hosted by Vibe magazine at the Peterson Automotive Museum in the Carthay Circle neighborhood of Los Angeles. It was a big party with over 1,000 guests, a lot of famous people there. Biggie's wife, Faith Evans, Queen Latifah, Chris Tucker, the Wayans brothers, Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Chris
Whoa.
Tucker, Genuine. I've written the Wayans brothers again, so even more brothers. Jermaine Dupri, Martin Lawrence.
Wow.
Oh, there's a new Bad Boys coming out or out now. I
Is there?
saw a poster when I was at the cinemas yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
Do we need more?
Do we need it?
Is it 3 or 4 up to? How many are we up to?
This must be 4.
And is it
I think.
both of them?
Both of them, yeah.
Ooh.
Are they going to
Bad Boy.
reference the slap?
Bad Boy 4. Because he actually is a bad boy now.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, and he wasn't before.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Maybe that was it. He went method.
Method Man.
Oh my God.
So, big party, a lot of people there. Also in attendance were members of both the Bloods and Crips gangs.
Mm-hmm.
The Los Angeles Fire Department had closed the party early because of smoking, loud music. They hate music in America. And
hate it there.
And overcrowding, and Biggie and his crew left about 12:30 a.m. in 2 green Chevrolet GMC Suburbans.
Where was everyone sitting?
I'm going to tell you.
Water slide style. How many of them?
Oh, water slides.
Water
Yeah.
slide style.
Yeah, water slide style.
Most of these cars, they just removed all the seats and they were just sloshing around.
I love the word sloshing.
Do you like it to describe being tipsy? Jeez, it's a bit sloshed.
I don't mind it, but
I
I,
like
think
it.
I prefer it in that kind of
Just like, because you picture like a tub that is...
sloshing about.
Full slosh.
Yeah,
It's like when you're in the bath and you kind of like you push the water around and it sort of goes slosh, slosh, slosh.
Or you picture like in that episode of The Simpsons where there was like a pool on top of a bus or something? Am I
Yes.
remembering that right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Otto was driving it.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yes.
And that's sloshing around.
Yeah, that's sloshing like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
nobody's
That's
business.
proper slosh.
Yeah.
In Parks and Rec, there's a limo that has a hot tub at the back of it. Now that's sloshing around in style.
Yeah, that's fun. So they leave to attend an after party at record executive Steve Stut's house.
Steve Stutz.
I assume that's his name, Steve Stute. In the Hollywood Hills.
That's it. Oh, Steve's here.
Steve Stute.
Steve Stoot. Oh, g'day, Steve.
Oh, Steve. Hey,
Good
Steve.
to see you, mate.
Steve, I wasn't expecting you here.
Hey.
Steve Stoot.
Hey, come on in.
Steve Stoot.
Guys, it's Steve
She'll be
Stoot.
down in a minute.
Who's he there to see? Your wife?
He said,
He's there
she'll be down in a minute.
He's there to take
Steve,
your wife on a
come
date?
in. Yeah.
Oh, she's just getting ready.
She's getting ready. Come on in. You want a brewski, Steve Stoot?
I was picturing like a daughter going to the prom.
No.
About to be voted prom queen, but
Yes.
maybe my wife.
He's going on a date with Steve Stoot.
Steve Stoot's an 18-year-old graduate taking your wife to the prom.
Steps up.
Guys, it's a little bit weird, but okay.
Matt's wife is a babe.
Yeah, she dreamed of being prom queen, and now she's
Now
going to
she's
Yeah.
gonna
Oh, good luck, hun. All right, see you later. Hey, better have her back by midnight. All right, you're right, Steve Stoot.
step that out.
Stoot. That's a weird little play we did.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I think we should option it.
Yeah. Put a copyright on that.
Yeah, maybe we get some rappers to play
Yes.
cops in it.
Yes. I'm in. Here's $1 million of my own money.
Yeah, great. I was wondering whose money
Dave,
that was.
can I borrow $1 million?
Yeah, what for?
I'm making a project with Matt.
Okay. Who's going to be in it?
Steve
Rappers.
Stoot.
Oh, Steve Stoot and the Rappers.
Steve Stoot and the Rappers.
That's a good name.
That's fun.
Rappers with a W.
Stoot.
So they're going to Steve Stoot's.
Yes. Sorry. Yep.
Everyone's heading to Steve Stoot's.
The bonus episode we record after this is going to be it.
That's going to be Steve Loose.
It's going to be a
Gonna be
little
fucked.
sloosh.
I might have to stand up the whole
We're
time.
going to be sloshing around in
Yeah.
here.
So they're going in the Hollywood Hills. Let me tell you the formation now.
Please.
Biggie travelled in the front passenger seat.
Okay, so he's second.
He's in the
that.
Tupac seat.
Yeah.
Alongside his associates.
He's second in the water slide.
Yeah, he's going second.
Yeah.
Well, you don't go first. You let someone else take the fall.
Sure.
Alongside his associates, Damien D-Rock Butler, Junior Mafia member Lil Cease, and driver Gregory G-Money Young.
Mm-hmm.
Even your driver's got a cool nickname. That's the world they live in. That's cool.
But it sounds like he's in the cursed chair.
Yes, they did say that's the most dangerous seat, don't they? In a car accident?
Yeah.
Which one?
Or maybe back
front
middle.
passenger, I thought, was
Yeah,
usually the one
maybe.
they like.
Driver's
Right.
normally the safest driver.
Because I think they go, there's something coming up. I'm going to swerve away from that. And then they swerve possibly into it with the other side of the car. Anyway, Puffy travelled in the other vehicle
So
with...
I should always be in the back seat behind the driver. If my partner's driving,
Yeah.
I get to be chauffeured, and then I might stay alive.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Sorry, please continue.
So there's two of these cars. Puffy's in the other vehicle with Eugene Gene Deal, Anthony Tone Jacobs, Stevie J, and driver Kenny Story.
Stevie J, last week we were talking about the Cats premiership grand final appearances. Is that the same Stevie J?
Same one.
Same one.
Obviously he wasn't there in 94, but he played in the later ones.
Yeah.
Wow, Stevie J.
I find it's easier to just go,
Just
yep,
agree,
and then
yeah.
move on, yeah.
Also just had the thought, Bloods, that's the nickname of the Sydney Swans, and Cripps is the captain of Carlton. So if maybe this year they'll play off in the grand final, it'll be a Bloods versus Cripps rematch. Something to think about.
Have you thought about that, Dave?
Why don't you think about that in the corner for a little bit? So they're at the front. Then the two SUVs were trailed by a Chevrolet Blazer, I love these names, carrying Bad Boy Records director of security, Paul Offord, and driven by an off-duty Inglewood police officer named Reggie Blaylock.
Who was played by a rapper.
So they're in like a little... there's three cars. Mm-hmm. The streets were crowded with people leaving the party, and Biggie's car stopped at a red light at the corner of Wilshire Boulevard and South Fairfax Avenue, just 50 yards or 46 metres away from the party, because that's how many people are out. It's, gridlock out there. 2 minutes later, a dark-coloured 1994 Chevrolet Impala SS drove to the side of Wallace's, that's Biggie's Suburban. The driver of the Impala, a man wearing a blue suit and a bow tie, lowered his window, drew a 9mm blue steel pistol, and fired at Biggie's car with 4 bullets hitting him.
4's the unlucky number.
Yeah, not good. But I never knew his killer was wearing a blue suit and a bow tie.
Who are we all thinking? Oliver Clark. Previous guest on the show. That's his trademark look.
It is his
Holy
look.
shit.
The beautiful blue suit.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Oh, my God.
Did they say anything about him being a man with the burns? Because that's also a way people have described him.
Wow.
Yeah. Was his fly done up?
He was eating a beef stroganoff. These are for the deep cuts for the OC fans.
Which is everyone.
What a guy. Got a new album out. Check it out on Spotify. Great stuff. Anyway, he's been shot with 4 bullets. Biggie's driver drove him straight to the hospital where emergency surgery was performed, but sadly he could not be saved. Wow. Was pronounced dead at 1:15 a.m. Probably would have survived the first 3 shots, but his autopsy, which wasn't released for 15 years, showed that the 4th final bullet went through the rapper's right hip and had torn through his left lung, heart and colon.
Oh my God.
Before going out the other side.
Whoa.
Bullets are crazy.
Yeah, bullets are crazy.
They are crazy.
Holy shit, he speaks some truth sometimes, doesn't he?
But it's like something you could get shot in the leg and it end up in your brain somehow.
Totally.
So
Is
wild.
that true? I didn't know that. That is wild.
If you get the right angle,
There's ricochet around in there
if you
sometimes.
shoot from
right.
underneath someone
Yeah.
and it just goes all the way up them.
I mean, it's unlikely, but it's possible.
Yeah, right. There you go.
That's amazing.
Well,
But how do they know what order the bullets entered in?
Well, I mean, they were in Las Vegas, so I'm pretty sure they called in Grissom from CSI.
Uh-huh.
They got him to do it all.
So how old's Biggie?
Biggie was only 24.
Oh, no shit.
It's so young.
I had him pegged for like mid-30s as well. But yeah, jeez.
And Biggie had a couple of kids,
2
too.
kids left behind. Yeah, I think the youngest was maybe 2.
Oh
Very
my
sad.
God.
His son, he's got a son and a daughter. His son has also become a rapper.
Oh, right.
Maybe called, I don't want to say the wrong name, but maybe Lil Biggie or something like that.
Little Biggie, you're right.
Lil Biggie, CJ Wallace, who is now 27, so older than when his dad was when he was
out.
killed, which is so wild. Like Tupac, the murder of the Notorious B.I.G. remains unsolved. Again, Puffy and the others that were there that day didn't cooperate with investigators, and similarly, there have been many theories and accusations made in books, documentaries, and newspaper articles. The New York Times writes, a cottage industry of criminal speculation has sprung up around the case, with documentaries, books, and a stream of lurid magazine articles implicating gangs, crooked cops, and a cross-country rap rivalry, noting that everything associated with Wallace's death has been big business. And yes, I do see the irony in pointing that out on our 2nd episode on this topic. But there's even been a film, I didn't realise this, starring Johnny Depp called City of Lies, released in 2021 about the investigation. Because there's been biopics both about Tupac and Biggie.
I saw the Biggie one, or one of the Biggie ones. It was great. And it's so funny that I saw that and still have been surprised by so much of this story
Yeah.
that I'm obviously hearing for the second time. But
Wow. So young. I can't believe they're both so young.
So young. Retired FBI agent Phil Carson, who worked the case for 2 years, claimed to the New York Post in 2021 that Death Row Records founder Suge Knight financed the hit on the Notorious B.I.G. and that the execution was carried out by a Nation of Islam convert and hired hitman Amir Muhammad with the help of corrupt Los Angeles cops. Well, that's just one of many, many claims. We don't know for sure.
Lots of theories about it.
Lots of theories. On March 18, Biggie's funeral was held in Manhattan, and there were around 350 mourners. A lot of them very famous people you'll know. A lot of people came out to...
Celine Dion.
She was there. Yeah.
I knew it. You're right.
Name a celebrity.
Faith... What's his wife's name?
Hill.
Faith Hill.
She was busy.
Wait, Faith Hill?
She was busy Smalls.
Faith Hill was there.
Yeah, Faith
What
Hill.
was
Okay.
Come on. Give me
What?
something for Busy Smalls.
Busy Smalls is funny.
Busy Smalls. Busy Phillips's
Busy Phillips
dad.
was there.
Who's there? Who was that other Faith? The country pop singer.
Faith. Was that Faith Hill as well? No. Who was that? Faith Evans.
Faith Evans. No, Faith
No.
Evans is the wife.
Yes, Faith Hill is
I thought
the...
that's what you confused me
Yes.
when you said Faith Hill.
Okay, I
Yeah.
got the wrong
People
one.
will be absolutely screaming
Sorry.
at
When did
their
I say
iPod.
Faith Hill? Just then?
Just
or,
then.
or earlier as well?
No, just then.
Oh, thank God.
This kiss.
It's centrifugal motion. Fantastic use
Oh
of that
my
word.
God. Centrifugal. I never knew that's what that was. Because that's, that's in certain evaporative cooling units they use
Ah, right.
centrifugal fans.
And here's the thing that I learned listening to a lot of rap this week. When some of their things, both on Biggie and Tupac, because they grew up poor. One of the, I think it's Biggie's song Juicy, singing about how growing up quite poor, birthdays was the worst days. Now he sips champagne on every day or something like that. But he also talks about blasting the ack. That's what they call AC.
Oh, you're right. Ack,
I've
I
never heard that
haven't
before.
heard it
Yeah,
referred
but
to that way.
both rappers include ack.
Ack,
They
right.
blast the ack.
Did either of them reference government cheese, which we talked about?
Not that I remember, but it's possible.
Because I know that it has been referenced in music. I think I said at the time. I just can't remember who.
I was definitely listening.
I mean, that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, but
I can't remember what we did today.
he does have the cleanest, meanest penis. So.
That's right, and we have to remember
So he's
that.
got no government dick cheese, that's for sure.
Jesus Christ. Jesus
well,
Christ.
I think that's all we've got time for. We got to go out on that. We can't. How do you top that?
Surely there's nothing you have to say that's important.
After
Good
that,
night, Australia.
You get a
we
line
throw
in
to an
your
ad
head.
break there.
We're done.
One of those lines comes into your head and you're 50-50. Like, should I just say
No,
this out
of
loud?
course
Oh,
you
that's
should
so
have.
bad.
Always say it out loud. The worst case scenario is we edit it out.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it sounds like AJ doesn't edit out these things, the misses that we have. Someone's
I
telling me.
trust AJ's instincts.
Okay. I used to until people told me at the live shows. They said they enjoy it, but apparently he leaves a lot of stuff in where I say, please edit it out.
Well, it's hard. It's probably hard for him to tell what is joke edited out and actually edited out. So you need to come up.
I'm never joking.
You need to
So,
come up with code
I'm
words.
never
Consensus.
joking.
But sometimes it's funnier to leave it in.
Yeah, but-
well,
And
that's
AJ
up-
makes that call.
Okay. Well, I leave that up to AJ.
We're going to have a consensus
Cool.
then. Is government dick cheese staying in?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that's staying in.
Okay. There's only a little bit left to go, but 16 days after his death, Wallace's double-disc second album, Wallace being Biggie, was released as planned. Originally titled Life After Death, Till Death Do Us Part, it was shortened to Life After Death.
I would have kept it till death do we part because he's gone.
He's gone. But then this is his life after. This is the way he lives on.
Nah.
Well,
I don't believe in life after love.
well, the record buy in public did. Because the album sold 690,000 copies in its first week, peaking at number one on the Billboard 200 and eventually sold over 5 million copies in the US.
Whoa!
Again, it was acclaimed and is heralded as one of the best ever hip-hop albums and as some of his most well-known songs, including Hypnotized that I mentioned earlier, and also Mo Money, Mo Problems. Both singles topped the Billboard chart, making Biggie the only artist in Hot 100 history to have 2 number one singles posthumously.
Wow.
The final track of the album is titled You're Nobody Till Somebody Kills You. That's how the album finishes.
Wow.
And also...
actually, that was going to be the first song on there. But then once he died, they were like, fuck, maybe put
Maybe
that
they
to
reordered.
the, yeah, let's
Yeah.
put that to the end, I reckon. You know? Poetic.
very
He
poetic.
loves poetry.
The Notorious B.I.G.'s champion, his friend and Bad Boy Records owner, Puffy, was distraught over Biggie's death, and along with his widow, Faith Evans, not Faith Hill, they released the tribute track I'll Be Missing You on Puffy's debut album.
And he finally got around to it. And that's the one that uses the Sting, or no, the Police.
Yeah, so...
And but they didn't credit it and they ended up having to pay so much
so
of it.
the chorus features a reinterpretation of the Police song Every Breath You Take, but they didn't ask Sting's permission to use the sample. It was a huge success. It's the first rap song to debut atop the Billboard chart, where it stayed for 11 weeks, with shipments of over 3 million copies in the United States and over 1 million in both Germany and the UK. The song has become one of the best-selling singles of all time. And Sting's friend Elton John reportedly said to him, "Have you heard I'll Be Missing You? You're going to be a millionaire." To which Sting replied, "Elton, I'm already a millionaire."
Babe, tell me something I don't know.
And Elton said, "You'll be a millionaire twice over." And he was right, because Sting sued and got 100% of the song's royalties.
Whoa.
So, like, he already had one of, like, I think the best-selling song of the 1980s with the original. And then this comes out in 1997 and is one of the best-selling songs of that decade, and he gets to keep those royalties as well.
100% is high. I mean, the song isn't as big without it, obviously, but I feel like he's done something to it
Yeah.
to get a little
He talked
little
over
cut.
it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he get something?
Even so, Sting and Puffy have gone on to become quite good friends. So,
That's nice. Good for
and
them.
also Puffy's album, it was his best-selling one. It sold like 8 million copies itself, and he had maybe 2 more number one hits and another couple of number 2 hits from that album. It was massive, so he did very well.
How close of friends is Sting with Puff Daddy?
Well, a few years ago when they were talking about each other in an interview, they said that they've become good friends.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, Government Cheese. I can't find any references in either of their songs, but Snoop has referenced it a bit. So has a bunch of other big rappers, including like Public Enemy, Wyclef Jean, or Wyclef Jean. Is it Jean or Jean?
Jean.
Is it Jean?
Nah, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pretty funny to have you got
I got
Jean.
Can you do it the whole thing in your front?
Wyclef Jean. Weird Al Yankovic also referenced it.
Oh, what's his parody of Government Cheese? What's he got it into?
It's from
Government Bees.
Whatever You Like.
He's parodying the product. Not a famous song, but parodying product. Chips, more like shits. Pretty good.
He says, baby, I can give you anything you please, even share my government cheese. And baby, you can have as much as you like. I don't know what that...
Do you know what song that's from there?
That was nice.
It's from the song Whatever You Like, but I don't know what that's parodying.
There you go.
I'm sure the Yank heads will be fucking yelling and screaming at there.
And we want to hear about it.
And what about the feud? Well, on April 3rd, 1997, key figures in the rap industry were summoned by Louis Farrakhan, an American religious leader who heads the Nation of Islam. It was quite influential. He invited them to his Chicago-based ministry house for an in-depth meeting. And the main thrust was to put an end to the East-West rivalry. On hand were artists such as Snoop Dogg, The Dog Pound, Ice Cube, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and Fat Joe being the only one from the East Coast. Ice Cube later said that people recognised that things had gone too far and eventually agreed to squash the beef. Hip-hop also... Let's squash the beef, make some burgers.
Yeah, maybe a bit of government cheese.
Hey, guys, let's squash the beef, okay?
Okay.
Enough's enough.
Okay.
Let's squash this beef. This beef, too big.
Too big. Let's
squash
squash
it.
Too much beef here.
The beef has been squashed. I'd like to think it's like a ceremony where there's an actual piece of beef.
Yeah, I hope so.
And they all got one at a time and just hit it with a hammer or something.
Yeah.
It has been squished. Everyone turns the clamp.
Until the beef has been squished.
The Weird Al song was a parody of T.I.'s song of the same name, Whatever You Like.
Okay,
There you go, Al
whatever
heads
you
out there.
like. Probably. Anyway.
Were you just making up a song?
No.
Okay.
I want to be dead.
Jess, is that the name of one of Biggie's albums?
Yeah. And it came true.
Hip-hop also seemed to move on a bit from gangster rap and G-funk at this time. And Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg both left Death Row Records to do their own thing. The man behind it all, Suge Knight, was in and out of prison in the late 90s, and the label began to decline, eventually filing for bankruptcy. Though I believe recently, in the last couple of years, Snoop Dogg has bought the label.
Ah.
For a much, decreased price because it's not as successful anymore. Suge Knight himself is back in jail after he pled no contest to voluntary manslaughter in a fatal 2015 hit and run. Under the 3 strikes rule, he was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
Whoa.
He will not be out for a long time. And that was kind of it for a long time anyway. Both murders remained unsolved, but there was an update last year, 2023.
Whoa, that's recent.
Yeah, Dwayne Keith Keffy D. Davis.
Okay, I'm going to need that again.
Dwayne Keith, and then his nickname's Keffy D.
Okay.
Surname Davis. I'll
Yes.
just call him Davis from here.
Thank you.
Was arrested for the murder of Tupac. The first ever arrest in the case. Davis has admitted in his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend, which is, all right, mate, Jesus,
I've never bloody heard of you, mate.
that he was in the passenger seat of the white Cadillac, and you've been wondering what position people
Yes.
were sitting in. We know he was in the passenger seat of the white Cadillac that pulled up alongside the BMW containing Tupac, and that the shooter, he says, was his nephew, Orlando Anderson,
Oh.
the guy that Tupac and everyone had jumped at the MGM boxing match.
Right.
Davis was arrested for the murder in 2023, not as the actual shooter, but prosecutors described him as a shot caller behind the crime.
Right.
And in his book, he actually admitted that he provided the gun used in the drive-by.
But made his nephew do the
His
shooting.
son grabbed the gun. His nephew grabbed the gun. And it kind of seems like because he's talked about it for a while that he was in the car, like sort of shown off a bit about it. But it kind of, I think the story is that if he hadn't have written the book, he would not have been arrested.
Right.
So by putting it in writing and saying, that was me, I was there, he's been arrested. It's a bit like, I think, when you rob a bank in certain jurisdictions of America, even if you're like the getaway car driver and someone gets shot inside, you can get charged for murder because you're part of the crime. So he's been charged because he was there.
Yep.
Because he gave the gun.
Yep.
There's no statute of limitations, because that's the kind of thing that I would have thought he'd look into before publishing a book like that.
Yeah.
Get a lawyer to give this a once-over.
Yeah. Chat to him hypothetically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his
If
trial...
I did be in that car.
That's right.
Weirdly phrased, but okay,
you know.
that's first draft.
Well, so that's a crime against language, but
That's where we get editors
Guilty.
involved, okay? It's fine.
His trial, Davis, was initially set to begin June 3rd, 2024, coming up next month.
Really soon.
But was later delayed to November 4th, 2024. So we'll have to see if there are any updates on this later in the year. Wow. But he could be the first and probably only, because I think he's believed to be the only surviving person from the other car.
Wow.
So there might actually be someone who gets punished for the murder.
Right, because his nephew was killed.
Killed a couple of months later.
23 or something.
Yeah.
And is he still open about it? Like, he's like, that was me, but he's going to try and argue that, but I didn't pull the trigger, so...
I guess because they haven't had the trial yet, we don't know what his defense will be. But yeah, he's definitely going to face at least the court.
Wow.
Man, I'm keen to look at... I hadn't heard of this movie. Did you say a movie about the investigation?
Oh, yeah, with Johnny Depp.
Because there's also... It looks like there was a 2018 true crime anthology series called Unsolved.
Oh, yeah, there's so many docos out there.
I've seen Straight Outta Compton and Notorious.
I think there's also...
I'm looking up Suge Knight being portrayed on film. And
he's in a few things.
He's in there's 6 different things where
definitely
someone's
a
playing
big
him.
character from this era. And I think the Tupac movie was panned. I haven't seen it, but it didn't get great reviews.
Right.
But the legacy of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. lives on, both becoming mythologized figures and titans of hip-hop and popular music. Both are considered some of the best to ever do it. Rolling Stone and Billboard both named Biggie as the greatest rapper of all time, while Snoopac calls Tupac the greatest rapper ever. Tupac has sold more than 75 million records worldwide, and Biggie has sold 21 million albums in the US alone. Not bad for a guy who only released one album in his lifetime.
Whoa. And let's not forget, there's a burger place named after it.
Exactly, the ultimate tribute.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. There was somewhere... Was it that one or another chain that ended up getting basically told to knock it off?
I feel like it was them, but I can't remember.
Yeah. By the estate or something.
Oh, okay. Tupac was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017, and Biggie was inducted himself in 2020.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not hip-hop.
Yeah, they're one of the few, I think there's maybe 10 rappers in total, or rap groups that have made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so they're that big, that influential, that they can influence rock as well. Both flawed individuals, it's plain to say, but it's incredibly sad that they were both murdered in their creative primes at such young ages.
Yeah, obviously at our age, much older than them, it's sad to see. Yeah.
Yeah, and the older you get, you realise, God, that is so fucking young.
That is so fucking young.
That is so young.
I know, when we're 50, we'll go, 34, we were babies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
if we make 50.
But that's the story of the East Coast, West Coast hip-hop rivalry. If you didn't know, now you know.
Wow. Well done, Dave. What a story.
Yeah,
I knew
it's
none of
amazing.
that. So now I know, as you just said.
I actually didn't really know anything other than that both of them were murdered and that maybe they didn't like each other. That was about it.
Yeah, it's so sad they started out friends.
Yeah.
And I only knew maybe 2 or 3 songs from each of them, really.
Yeah.
And
now you know the whole back catalogue.
Exactly. I listened to at least the albums they've released in their lifetimes. Biggie's the same. I think there's been 2 albums released posthumously, and then maybe his wife did an album with some of his old recordings as a 3rd one. And they both have greatest hits that I think are among the best-selling of their back catalogue. But yeah, so many songs that I was like, oh, this is cool. I do know this one.
Yeah, yeah.
The burger place I was thinking of in Melbourne that got shut down by legal stuff was College Dropout Burgers, are like a Kanye West.
Oh.
Yay one. But there is...
That feels way more like away from the source than
Biggie
literally
Smalls.
calling a shop Biggie Smalls.
But yeah, whereas it looks like the Melbourne owner of Biggie Smalls has sued a Gold Coast food truck called Biggie Smalls.
Oh.
Biggie Smalls Kebabs.
Oh, come on.
But this is 8 years ago, so
Oh, right.
I don't remember hearing about that.
There's
but
also, am I right in
sounds
thinking
strange.
that there's a toasted cheese place called Ghostface Griller?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think maybe in Perth, or maybe that's a chain. But yeah, that's a fun one.
That's a fun one.
I mean, it was my dream, partly inspired by you, Matt, to open up a burger shop called Krista Burger.
Oh yeah,
And then sadly we looked up, there actually is one in England, so I would be ripping off someone else's idea.
Krista Burger Down Under.
That's fun.
What would some of the burgers be? There'd be the lady in red sauce on your fries.
Matt, you're going to be so disappointed when I tell you.
That'd be
Oh, that's right. We're going to call it...
don't pay the ferry mayonnaise.
What about...
It's all condiments and named and then we just have like cheeseburger.
Yeah, Krista
Krista
Cheeseburger.
cheeseburger. Krista hamburger. Krista Big Mac.
Remember we started singing Sausage and Bread.
Not really.
You're going to be so pissed when I tell you. I think there's another one in England, but there's also a Krista Burger van based out of Wrexham. We could have gone there. We
Oh
were
my
there.
God, we were right there. Sausage and bread.
That's good
We were
stuff.
singing that when we were in Wrexham. I don't remember singing that at all.
No,
But
not in Wrexham, but another time we just talked about Krista Burger.
It does feel good that we're ending this double episode epic on the East Coast, West Coast rap rivalry with some Chris de Berg talk. The best eyebrows in the biz. Is he still going, or did anyone ever take a hit out on him?
Oh my God, surely he's still going. Our main man, Krista Berg, is alive at 75.
Oh, yeah. Chris
Sounds like you were calling bingo.
de Berg.
Fish alive is 75. Anyway, let's move on. Dave, thank you so much for such a wonderful report.
Thank you for indulging me, everyone, in a double episode.
You've made me. I'm going to be diving into a bunch of those. I do love a biopic or a bio series, whatever you call them. Love the Wu-Tang Clan series, and but yeah, I'm going to go back and watch some of these other ones I've missed from the Tupac and Biggie.
Well, make sure to get yourself some lady in red sauce on your chips.
Yeah. Well, can I get some lady in red sauce and maybe a little don't pay the ferry mayonnaise as well? They're the only two songs I know. Otherwise, I'd keep going. You better believe I would.
And now it's time for everyone's favourite section of the show. We've lost Matt. We've kicked him out. We've said, "Get out of here, you dog." That's what we said.
And he went, "Oh, okay, can I go?"
And then he left, and we were like, we were joking.
We were kidding.
But he has gone. So it's just Dave and Jess here to do our favourite section of the show where we get to spend some time thanking some of our fantastic Patreon supporters. If you would like to be one of them, you can head over to patreon.com/dogoonpod. There's all sorts of benefits. Dave, what are some things that people can get if they join up on Patreon?
A big one, I think this is a big one for a lot of people, is bonus episodes.
Absolutely, yes.
You listen to the episode every week when it comes out, a couple of hours after it's over.
Yep.
But fear not, because we put out 3 new bonus episodes every single month. And there's also over 200 right now in the back catalogue that you unlock as soon as you get on the bonus episode level. So there's literally hundreds of hours of extra stuff.
Yeah, so if you're somebody who's like started listening to the pod from the very beginning and you've caught up, and now you're like, oh, well, I was listening to like a podcast every day.
Yeah.
And now I've got to go week to week like an idiot.
Don't worry, we've got the next 200 days covered.
You're sorted, my
Plus
friend.
the 3 extras that come out. So by the time, we get into 6 months' time, there'll be another 20 days covered.
Yeah. Okay? We're doing all right.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of stuff.
We're getting immediately defensive.
No.
Okay, we're doing our best.
But you can also be in the Patreon group 24/7 if you want to be somewhere all the time.
That's true.
You can, which is a lovely place, honestly. It's the only reason I'm on Facebook anymore. You can vote for topics like this one. This was the big double we just did on the Hip Hop Rivalry that was voted for by Patreon people. You can find out about live shows before everyone else, which means you guaranteed basically to get a ticket, and also you get discounted tickets.
That's right.
So
lots of good stuff.
Yeah, and also we shout you out.
That's right. And the first section is called Fact, Quote, or Question, and that's where people get to submit a fact, a quote, or a question, and it has a little jingle that goes a little something like this. Fact, quote, or question. Ding. He always remembers the ding. I always remember the sing.
Great memories.
We do have great memories.
Fantastic.
Both of us.
Yes.
Fantastic
Yes.
memories. And so we have a couple of fact, quote, or questions. As I mentioned, this is where people get to give themselves a title, and then they can give us a fact, a quote, a question, a brag, a suggestion, some money. No, they can't give us money.
Well, they already have given us money.
They have given us money. Recently, we had somebody give us a collection of words they liked.
I loved that.
That was so good.
That was lovely.
So it can be anything you want. Matt, I'll read them if you don't mind.
Oh, you happy to? You've been
Do you
doing a
want
great job lately.
Do you want to go?
Do you want me to have a go?
Have a go if you want.
All right, well, I'll have to bring it up here.
Okay,
I'm
I've
afraid.
already got it. I'll do it.
No.
Okay,
No. 450. Okay, let me find my space. Here we go.
Okay, let me make that font a bit bigger.
Yeah, honestly, I am wearing glasses these days. Okay. I would like to say, first of all, a big hello and thank you to our first cab off the rank, which is Michael Derizzi.
Michael.
And Michael's given themselves the title or the nickname of Old Man.
Okay, well, your words, not mine, Michael.
So, Michael, you're also wearing glasses.
I would call you a whippersnapper.
Absolutely. And
That's what old people call young people.
Yeah, this young whippersnapper / old man has given us a fact, and that is, and we never proofread these.
No.
So that's why if I sound bad, it's not me.
It's not Dave.
It's also...
It's Dave's comprehension skills.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm stumbling, I haven't had a chance to proofread. This is from Michael. Hi, my favourite pod people.
Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
I'm 33 and turning 34 on April 27th.
Okay, you've turned 34 ages ago by the
Little
time
while
this
back
comes
now.
out. But at the time of recording, still quite a while
And
ago.
34, can we say that is not old at all?
That's not old at all. How fucking dare you?
Oh, my God.
Because maybe, hypothetically, two people of this podcast might also be turning 34 this year in a couple of months.
Yeah, they could, but they'd be incredibly young and beautiful.
They'd be the youngest and the hottest.
Michael, turning 34 on April 27th. I've never felt older.
Yeah.
When I was putting my underwear on about 1 week ago, my back went out. I fell to the floor and couldn't move at all.
Yep.
It's brutal.
Yep.
It was the most pathetic I have ever been in my life, just laying there with my underwear around my ankles. Michael, my God. My dog, Leia, must have thought I was playing because she got the zoomies right then. and was no help.
I love it when dogs get zoomies at bad times.
And you're like, no, please. But Michael writes, but what she could have done, I don't know, man. Why are you asking me? Anyways, ta-ta and farewell.
Michael, I hope, because we are recording this several weeks later after that, I really hope you're okay.
Please, I hope you're okay.
But I do understand.
I really hope he's still not lying on the floor.
Yeah,
He's typed this into his phone. He could have used that valuable battery to call for help, but instead he submitted a fat quota question. Leia the dog is just zooming
around.
Going, Michael.
Are you going to feed me?
Come on.
I'll keep zooming. I get that. And I know I said this recently. There was a conversation in our Facebook group of people being like, hey, somebody was like, I'm in my 40s or something. Are people older listening? And there was a huge range of ages listening to the podcast, which is so lovely. People in their 70s, 60s, 50s. Amazing. And so I was sort of like, I'm going to stop talking about how old I am all the time. Because I know that's insufferable when people younger than you are doing that all the time.
Yeah.
But I do think that sort of phrase of like youth is wasted on the young, I've never understood it more until I got into my late 20s, early 30s. And now,
So you're not allowed to understand it when you're young, though.
But you really don't understand how good your life is it's such a short window where you can go out drinking all night and rock up to work in your retail job at 9 a.m. on a Sunday and you're fine.
2 hours sleep, who gives a shit?
On Tuesday this week, Aiden was like, I think I'm getting sick. And I'm like, no, you went out on Saturday night. That's all it is. You're hungover still.
I'm always amazed at the different stages of life. Looking back, like when I first started working full time, I looked back at my uni days and I was like, what did I used to do with my
What did
time?
I fucking do
What did I
all
do?
day?
And now I'm working and now I've got a baby.
Yes.
It's even more, what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, what did I do when I was only working?
Yep.
And when I was only working, I was like, what did I do when I was only studying?
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to keep going like that forever.
Absolutely.
Being less and less time forever.
That's right. Absolutely. It's ridiculous. I think about, because I worked in retail a lot, and I think about those Sunday morning shifts where we did start at 10. There was a later start, which is good. And we were all the same age. So we'd all be hungover starting, but you were fine.
Yeah, not really bad.
You'd open the shop. Somebody would stay there because Sunday mornings are always quiet. Somebody else would walk down to Macca's and get orange juice and hash browns. And then we were fine for the day. And now it's like, no. I was up past midnight.
Sorry, I need to take the week off.
I am ruined.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. My body hurts all the time.
Yeah, but I'm sure that, there's people in their 50s, 60s and 70s listening going, you've got no idea.
You don't know
Yeah, I
what's
know.
coming, you little shits.
I'm sorry, but if we did know, then, no one would want to get older.
They're going, you've only got one little baby. Just wait till you've got
that's right.
8 teenagers running around, It's crazy.
Oh,
so, Michael,
funny.
I get it, but we are young, okay?
We're all young, Michael, and I really hope you pulled your pants up. I know.
I hope you have to.
One leg at a time, buddy.
Thank you for letting us go on that little rant too.
That
That
was
made
funny.
me feel better.
I enjoyed that. And finally this week, we've only got one more, and that is from Jacoby Austin DeAngel.
Hi, Jacoby.
Jacoby's given themselves the nickname of burglar, in brackets, or expert treasure hunter of the podcast.
No, same thing, baby.
Yeah.
Treasure hunter. You're a burglar.
One man's treasure is another man's burgle. As I always say.
You've always said that. I've never understood it until right now. He has always said it.
And Jacoby's given a rare brag, which
we
we
love a brag.
and encourage and think is fantastic.
Love a brag. Bring it on. This is a
Okay.
safe place to brag.
And Jacoby's here with, I'm going to go and try for the rare royal flush of FQQs, fact quota questions, which is when you've done a fact, you've done a quote, you've done a question. He says, I'll try to keep it as brief as possible, but they'll have to be out of order for this to make sense.
Okay.
Brag. Last time, I bragged that I would be getting my first tattoo. This time, I'm bragging that I got it. I posted a picture in a thread on the Do Go On Patreon Facebook page if you want to check it out. In a thread? Oh my God. Have you seen this?
Well, there was a thread because I think it was Sophie Shooter got released the slugs. And so then there was a thread of...
Sophie, that was fantastic.
It's so good. And then you know what that made me do? It made me go back and watch the Do Go animation of Release the Slugs. And it's so funny.
Oh, that's great. So that's our Shackleton's Endurance episode, which is in the first 100 episodes, first couple of years of the show.
People have said in the comments that that was one of Jess's best, and I always remembered it being you really leading that joke. But watching it back, it is me leading it, but you jump in so quick, and you're adding to it, and you're
Sorry,
doing.
I jump in and
take
ruin
over.
it. Sorry about
No.
What
We're
an
doing the
ass.
same voice of just being this person. It's so stupid
great.
and funny.
And now Sophie in the UK has a tattoo that says "Release the Slugs." That's so funny that life has made that happen.
Yeah.
One of those weird things. Is that our first Do Go On tattoo
Oh, I'm not sure.
that I can think of? Definitely Do Go On inspired.
I'm not 100% sure. I think maybe, but I could absolutely be wrong.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, we interrupted Jacoby.
Jacoby, that's the brag. The quote is, quote, I was talking about you, and I assure you there is a mark on this door, the usual one in the trade, or used to be. Burglar wants a good job, plenty of excitement and reasonable reward. That's how it is usually read. You can say expert treasure hunter instead of burglar if you like. Some of them do. It's all the same to us. End quote. This is said by the dwarf Glowin to Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit and explains the tattoo of both my tattoo and title. Sorry, explains the meaning. I don't know if I read that properly.
You didn't.
Explains the tattoo. No, explains the meaning of both my tattoo and my title.
Great.
Then there is a fact. There is only one sketch done by Tolkien showing what the symbol that Gandalf marked on Bilbo's door looks like, and in the movie, they went for something completely different, so my tattoo was quite obscure, even amongst Tolkien fans.
Oh!
Why would they not respect the drawing?
Yeah, you dogs.
That's weird.
Movie people thinking they know better.
Yeah, come on. All right, the question is, after getting a tattoo, I went back to episode 18 tattoos.
Wow.
Remember we did a report on tattoos
I do,
all those years
yeah.
ago? My question for Matt is, did you ever finish your flame tattoo?
I can answer that. No.
No, he did not. And for
He
Jess,
did get a different tattoo, but
yes.
he has not finished the flame.
And for Jess and Dave, do you plan on getting more? I have not had any since, and probably not.
Well, listening back to episode 18, I didn't have any, and I now have 4. And I'll probably get more.
You'll probably get more.
Yeah, I was planning, because I'm doing a bit of a US trip in the middle of this year, and I was planning on getting a tattoo in Vegas because there's a place that does $10 tattoos, despite a lot of people saying, that's probably not a good idea. But I was like, nah, it'll be fine.
Is it just like a line?
No, they have like a certain, like they've got a sheet of designs they'll
These
do
are
for $10.
$10. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
It's like a dollar sign or something like that. That basic?
No, there was a few that I was like, yeah, I could do that. That could work.
It's a bargain.
It's a bargain. But then I remembered that after you get a tattoo, you can't swim for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to be touring around places with pools.
Well, it just depends how much you like your $10 tattoo. You don't really give a shit about it. Like
That's true.
You don't mind if it gets faded.
Are you trying to talk me in or out of the $10 tattoo?
I think I'm talking you in.
But yeah, I reckon I'll end up with more.
Yeah, cool.
I keep adding to them. I've always dreamt of getting a dolly, tattoo. That'd be pretty sick.
What if you got one either on your face or your neck? You could just not go under when you swim.
Smart.
Yeah.
I usually don't, because then you got to wash your hair.
Yeah,
Can't be bothered.
great. Tattoo your scalp.
I'll tattoo my scalp.
Perfect.
God, you're handy, Dave. It's so good we can talk these things through.
I love it.
Yeah, Jacoby, I've got 4 now, and I'll probably have more.
Yeah, great. And the suggestion is,
Dave's going to get my name.
yeah, well, if I can get it for $10, I will. I'm not paying $1
What if
more
I
for
paid
that.
for it? Would you get my name tattooed, or do you think your wife would have
I
an issue
will
with
let you know that the thing holding me back from getting your name tattooed on me is not the price.
What do you mean? Are you concerned that we'll have a falling out one day?
Yeah, exactly. I have to cross it out and change the
Or
S's to dollar signs.
Is it the fact that you are married and it would be strange to have your
She'd be fine.
colleagues?
She's fine.
She'd probably find it a bit funny.
If we did have a falling out, how would you feel if I changed it? I just added sucks next to it.
Oh, you could just leave a space between all the letters and then just add a U in between the S's, and then you got Jesus.
Oh my God, that's so clever.
So that's pretty cool.
So it's J space E space S
US.
U.
Yeah. Jesus.
Jesus. They're like, wow, your tattoo was drunk. Yeah, they
No,
were.
Jess was just a bitch.
And the final one
The
is
thing holding me back from getting your name tattooed on me is not the price. That's funny.
I'd wait till I pay $200 to not get a tattoo on me.
That's brutal. Wow, what a way to find out.
No offense.
I've already got Dave on mine. I've got Dave and Matt on each butt cheek.
That's love. That's love. She won't show us that to prove it. I'll show it when you get it done, and then I get it done. You're like, oh, I was only kidding. Fuck.
She got me again.
All right, and the final thing from Jacoby is suggestion, which is,
Of course. Sorry, Jacoby. We've really derailed.
I suggest everyone who's thought about it should get a tattoo. It took me a long time debating if I wanted to get one and trying to think of the perfect idea. Now that I'm inked up, I wish I'd done it sooner, and I reckon I'll get a few more.
Yep.
Thanks, mate.
I think a lot of people say they're addictive. And I think it's not that they're addictive. It's just that with the first one, you do think about it a lot because you go, oh, it's permanent.
That's why my body's a blank canvas.
I know. And
my
then,
gosh.
then you get the first one and you never notice it.
Yeah, and you realise, oh, this isn't that big a deal.
It's not a big deal. They're
Nah.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
And yeah. But I do say think about them for a while. Or don't get a tattoo that you really want at 18. And I know you think you'll want it forever.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff I wanted, even at uni, I'm so glad I didn't get.
You're very glad.
I'm so glad. I thought about my first one for years.
Can you think about any ideas you had previously that you cringe at?
I wanted K Sarah Sarah on my wrist.
Okay,
Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. Great message. Don't have to put it on your wrist. And I also wanted, it was going to take up most of my forearm here, was like a sun that, and it had like beams coming off the sun, and then it had a moon and a star inside the sun as well.
That's not that
I was
bad.
going to take up my entire forearm though.
That's a big one.
It's big. I've just got 4 little ones.
Yeah.
I actually can't see one of them, so I forget about it all the time.
And you go, huh,
Yeah. If I see it in pictures and go, what's that?
what the fuck?
What was that?
Oh my God.
I put my arm up and I go, what the fuck?
Oh my
It's on
God,
the back of
there's a bug.
It's on the back of my arm, and so I don't see it. And I regret it because it's a meaningful one, and I can't see it. The ones that don't really matter, I can see them all the time.
Oh, no, I've seen that one again. Thanks, Jacoby, for the royal flush there.
Good stuff. Well done. Thank you, Jacoby. And go get tattoos. That's
If
my
you
advice.
want. If you want.
If you want, think about the first one for a while.
Yeah, think about it. And I will say, think about where you get it done, because one of the reasons I didn't go back is I've got one on my inner,
Yeah.
my bicep,
Yep.
obviously, to show it off. And the hooves, because I've got a zebra, were quite painful down low. So
Yeah.
think about where you're getting it done. I've been told that is quite a sensitive spot.
I've been told that too, but I have it and it's fine.
Okay.
But also, I just have really fine text.
All right.
I
For
was
me,
being a dick for a bit there.
It was the shading.
That would
And they were
hurt.
colouring it in. So, but also, I am a wuss and was even more of a wuss back then with pain. So these days, I'm just get my face done, whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
Do a full sleep in one session.
I don't
What is
give a
that?
shit.
38 hours, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Whatever. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
So I had a really beautiful sleep,
Didn't
actually.
even notice. Best sleep of my life.
Yeah, they do hurt. But whatever.
Whatever.
Sometimes you just want to feel something. That's usually when I pierce my ears again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I go and get another ear piercing, just be like, okay, are you all right? So that's usually when I'm like, I want to feel something. Anyway, so
Thankfully, they look good. Thank God for that.
thank God. The next thing we need to do after the fact quarter question is thank some of our wonderful patrons with a little shout out.
Absolutely. So this is a part 2 episode.
Yes. What did we do
week,
for part 1?
you did the rap name generator.
Should we do it again?
I think we should do it again because
Okay.
it showed so much promise.
It was so fun.
It was really. So if I give you the names,
Rap name generator. I've got to find the rap name generator again. Hang on. Need to find the right one. I've had to try a few. Okay, yeah, I've got it.
so just for context, because this week we recorded the episodes back to back, it was a bit of an epic session.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have time. By the end of our studio booking ran out before we could do this Patreon bit. That's why Matt's actually not here.
As we also
This is
discovered,
a few weeks later.
The next morning, I was very sick.
Yes, Jess was you became ill, so ill that we had to take a week off recording because you needed 2 weeks to recover.
I was sitting here recording these 2 episodes with a blanket over me because I thought, that's weird, I'm a bit cold. Turns out that was a fever,
Yes.
and that fever didn't leave me for 5 days.
Yeah, you were extremely ill.
I was
poor
very
thing.
ill.
We're checking in on you and you were like, no, I'm even worse now.
No, yeah, you're like, feeling any better today? Nah.
No, actually.
If anything, worse.
I can't believe it. Yeah, so you were absolutely knocked around. So
I'm
we're-
very brave is what we're saying.
exactly. But we're reloading the rap name generator from a couple of weeks ago for
Got
us. And first up, I would like to thank from Queensland in Australia, it's Sonia.
Sonia.
Sonia. We've only got one. Just your name, which is what you signed up on Patreon.
my God.
Maybe your last name starts with K according to your email, but just so you know, Sonia from Queensland, that is you.
This rules. Super duper Sonia the artist. But it's SUPADUPA.
Oh, super duper Sonia the artiste. Love it.
Or Sonia Perrier. I don't like that one. Sonia de First is another option for you, Sonia.
Sonia de First is good. Next up, I would like to thank from location unknown to us, so we can only assume it's deep within the Fortress of the Moles. It is, and I'm going to have a real crack here, Sinead Ni Haractane. Shireen?
Shireen.
Sinead.
Sinead.
Sinead. That's the bit I was confident with, and I stuffed that up. Sinead Ni, surname Haractane. What's coming up with the rap name generator?
MC Sinead.
Seriously? The rap-
Or Sinead Flame.
That's good.
That's
what about
good.
MC Sinead Flame?
Yeah, okay, great. Yep. Yep.
So Sinead, it's really given up the rap name.
MC Sinead de Supplier. That's good
That's
stuff.
good too.
That's good stuff.
All right, next up, I'd like to thank another location unknown to us. And if you're ever wondering, hey, why aren't they saying where I'm from? It's because when you sign up to Patreon for whatever reason, you've ticked, I don't want them to send me anything, or I don't want to give them my address.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We don't need to know, but that's why.
But it's your fault.
Yeah. We just had a couple of people question it. Also, if we only ever say your first name, that's just what you've written your name in as. So thank you so much from location unknown. It's Tess.
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 Yep, no, I know how to spell Tess. It's one letter away from my name. Brazy Tess.
Brazy Tess. Mm-hmm. How do you spell Brazy?
Brazy. Flapjack Tess the kid. That's the winner.
That's it.
That's good stuff. Just so, this is from rapchat.com, just so that if anybody wants to play along at home.
Hell yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Flapjack.
Flapjack Tess The kid.
The kid. I would like to thank from Springwood, New South Wales, it's Jack.
Okay.
Possible surname starting with a B. Jack.
Jack. Bernie Jack.
Bernie Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't mind that.
Bernie Jack, you could even
Or
say Bernie J.
Mic Drop Jack. That's good.
That's great.
That's good stuff. Jack Pisces.
Yo.
No, Mike Jack.
Yo, it's Mike Drop Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Here to attack. I don't hold back.
You coming for my pack.
Yeah. But I'll go for your...
Sack.
I'll cut you a flap. Oh, that sounds nasty.
And you sack.
Yeah.
You don't want to flap there.
This is my diss track.
Etc.
We've
We've written half your bloody
That'd be
album
great,
for
yeah.
you, mate.
I better get a feat Dave Warnke and Jess Perkins on there.
Feet.
Feet. I would like to thank from another location unknown to us, Claire Noon.
Okay. IRE, Claire.
IRE for Claire.
Thank you so much. Noon.
Noone.
Okay, let's go full name. Let's just see how we go. Crazy Claire Noon.
That's pretty good.
I don't know about that. Claire Noon Swag.
Claire Noon swag. That's good.
Even just Noon Swag is kind of good, actually.
Noon swag. Yes.
King Size Claire Noon.
King Noon Clan.
King Size Claire is pretty good.
King size Claire. What I was trying to say was King Noon swag. I said Clag maybe.
Look, it's the end of the day.
Yeah.
We're doing our best.
Thank you so much, Claire. I would like to thank from Fredericksburg in Virginia, over in America, it's Joanna Gregson.
Joanna.
Joanna for this Joanna.
Let's have a look. It is generating Veto Joanna.
Veto Joanna. I like it.
I kind of like that. Joanna Gangster. I don't like that.
You could even have Veto Joe's pretty good.
Joanna Slime. Veto Joe's pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
Veto Joe Slime.
Veto Joe Slime.
That's great.
Sometimes it takes a bit of workshopping, but we
Yes, of
always
course,
get there.
yeah,
We
that's right.
always get there.
The rap name generator kicks us off and we just sort of slam dunk it.
It's alley-ooping us.
Yes. From South Yarra here in Victoria, I'd like to say hello and thank you to Clancy O'Hanlon.
Are you fucking kidding me? What a name!
Clancy O'Hanlon.
Clancy's amazing.
I love Clancy.
Then you add O'Hanlon.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh.
Clancy O.
And they live in Melbourne?
Yeah.
Coolest city in the freaking
In
world?
South Yarra, a pretty hip neighbourhood.
Oh, Clancy.
Enjoy
This one's CEO Clancy Dash.
CEO Clancy.
Or Clancy Green. Or Schemin' Clancy.
Scheming.
That feels like more of a country music artist.
Yeah.
Clancy Rascal is another option. I've given you several there,
I like
Clancy.
if you combine like CEO Clancy Rascal.
Okay. Yep.
That's fine. That's what I'm putting for.
Cool.
I would like to thank from Carson City in Nevada.
Nevada.
Referenced in Con Air.
Oh.
Thank you to Sari Nichols.
Sorry. Let's have a look. Generating Supreme Sari McLovin. Sari Supreme could be kind of cool.
Sari Supreme McLovin.
Sari da Supply. It's always da something.
Does something.
Trippy Sari. Sari Sanchez. There it is.
That's it. There we go.
Sari Sanchez.
Sari
That rules.
Sanchez on the mic. And finally, I would like to thank from Durham in Great Britain. It's David Crappenchitz. David Crappenchitz. It's always when I try not to laugh.
Hard to know what I should put in. I'm just going to put in David, but maybe I could... I'm going to put in crap and shits. The email address is completely different, so we're going to assume that is not somebody's actual name. If it is, you can change your name. You can change your name, though. Dope crap and shits. Or crap and shits dog. Sauce and crap and shits. Or crap and shits the destroyer.
We've got a winner.
That's good stuff.
Thank you so much to David Crappenshits, Sari, Clancy, Joanna, Claire, Jack, Tess, Sinead, and Sonia. There's none of the best if I've ever heard them.
Those were some of the fantastic names. I loved it. Clancy O'Hanlon, you're joking. We've lost Dave. Final thing we have to do before we get on out of here for another week is welcome some people into the Triptych Club. Dave, do you want to explain what the Triptych Club is?
This is our Hall of Fame, our clubhouse honour roll where we bring in a few new people every week that have been supporting the show on the shout-out level or above for 3 consecutive years to say thank you again. They've already had a shout-out a couple of years ago on another episode, but to enshrine them forever, to go into the Hall of Fame, we read out their name, welcome them into our clubhouse, which is a theatre of the mind, hangout zone, rock and roll club, arcade zone, bar, ballroom, ball pit.
I zoned out and I've come back in at a crazy time.
Bar, ballroom, ball pit.
Yeah.
All sorts of fun stuff going on there. Jess is always behind the bar, mixing up cocktails, adding a new tasty treat.
Yep.
Every week. Mm-hmm. What have we got this week?
We've got the 2-pack cocktail.
What have we got?
It's an empty glass, but it's filled with conspiracy theories. I hand you the glass and then I say, I hear he's still alive.
Oh, right.
Stuff like that.
And then they take a sip and then maybe they hand it to someone else and say, I hear the moon isn't real.
Correct. Moon landing was on a soundstage.
No, that's crazy. The
Too
moon
crazy?
isn't real.
Oh.
Please. Come on, not crazy.
Can't land on something that's not real.
Yeah, come on.
There's a big light in the sky.
It's just a big light. It's just a big installation.
It's beautiful. I love it.
I love it. So I love that. That's great. So a little conspiracy cocktail. I always book a band.
Yes. Who have you got?
I'm not sure if you remember last week we had the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes.
Well, we had 9 out of 10 members.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Capadonna couldn't make it.
That's right.
You're never going to believe it.
What?
Who's just walked in this week?
What?
There was clearly a mix-up in his diary. And this week, performing the hits of the Wu-Tang Clan, but only Capadonna's parts.
Oh.
It's Capadonna.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
That's so
for
embarrassing.
Capadonna.
Because last week I had to step in for him. This week,
And you actually did surprisingly well.
I did great. But unfortunately, I'm actually needed to do a bit of admin out the back, so I can't perform this week. So he will just have to stand and perform only his verses. And then in the 90% of the songs where he's not performing, just sort of stand there and wait for his bit.
Okay.
So it's a bit embarrassing.
That is a bit embarrassing.
Capadonna.
Well, turn up at the right time.
Sorry, mate.
Check your calendar.
Exactly. Everyone else made it. Even Old Dirty Bastard, who is dead, made it. So
Mate, Old Dirty Bastard was there. Not the first time we've had dead artists in the Triptych Club.
Absolutely not.
It's a magical place.
So enjoy the musical stylings of Capadonna.
So I will play the role of Matt Stewart as well as the role of Jess Perkins, and by that I mean I will read some names. You, David, will hype them up.
Yes.
Then I will hype you up. Okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
We have 4 inductees into the Triptych Club this week. First and foremost, from Athens, Ohio, Chris Torres.
What's the Torres, Chris? No, what's the Stores, Chris Torres?
There it is. Pew, 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 pew. From Burlington, North Carolina, Lisa Viana.
Lisa Viana. Have Viana a great time with Lisa Viana.
Yeah.
Make sure you have Viana.
Probably Vienna. From East Victoria Park in Western Australia, it's Andy Goldsmith.
We've struck Goldsmith.
Oh, Andy's here. And finally, from Leeds, it's James Harrison.
James Harrison. More like, I'm really running out of steam this week. Capadonna, help me out here.
James Flames Harrison Garrison.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Man, the Garrison. It's James Harrison. Fucking great stuff. Thank you, Capadonna.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hey, we're a team.
We are.
Thank you to James, Andy, Lisa, Chris. Come on in, grab a glass of conspiracy theories, get ready for Capadonna to perform, help yourself to whatever you want, don't touch my air hockey table, and apart from that, enjoy. And that brings us to the end of what we need to do admin-wise, Dave. Do you want to just chat?
Yeah. So
let's get the fuck out of here. I will just tell them that if you would like to suggest a topic, head over to our website. It's dogoonpod.com. There's also a link in our show notes. You can find links in the show notes as well to our other podcasts, to our Patreon if you want to jump in there and join up, to all sorts of fun stuff. And you can find us on social media at dogoonpod everywhere. Do on podcast on TikTok.
Incredibly well said.
Thank you so
Very
much.
well said.
I speak for a living.
Thank you.
Can you believe it?
Well, I don't listen for a living. What did you say?
He doesn't listen to women.
Yeah. Not true. Okay.
I can't believe you won't get my name tattooed on you. It's such bullshit. What if I got Dave first? Would you feel guilted into it?
Okay, if you got Dave first, you won't get Dave tattooed on you.
Nah, probably won't.
Yeah, but if you did,
It'd be pretty funny.
At that point, I'd consider getting Jess tattooed on
Fuck,
you.
imagine. And then people would go, is that your wife's name? And you'd go, no.
No.
It's just a girl I do a podcast with.
You're much more than that to me.
I wanted that on the record.
Yeah.
I tricked you. You fell into my trap.
We'll be back next week and we'll let you know how we go with the tattoos. But until then, also thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Bye. And Matt says, laters.